The Ukrainian Socialist Soviet Republic was the second Soviet republic in Ukraine. Set up in 1919 in Kharkiv, it fought against anti-communist forces in the Ukrainian Civil War. The Ukrainian Socialist Soviet Republic joined the Soviet Union in December 1922, becoming a founding member. The country was hit hard by the Stalinist collectivizations, and millions died from hunger. Then, in June 1941, the Germans invaded, and with help from Ukrainian nationalists killed over 4 million opponents of fascism, including Jews. The Stalinists abandoned their Marxist-Leninist facade in August 1991. They led the country into the hellhole that is capitalism today in Ukraine. The Belarusian Socialist Soviet Republic was also the second Soviet republic set up in Belarus, after the first one had been overthrown by anti-communist forces. Formed in July 1920, many Russian revolutionaries were not sure if Belarus should be given a union status. Yet the Belarusian Socialist Soviet Republic was a founding member of the Soviet Union in 1922. After the Second World War, Soviet Belarus got large parts of Poland, moving the country a little bit to the west. In 1991, the Stalinists chose to drop their socialist facade and embraced the symbols of the anti-communist Belarusians, those who had fought with Hitler. However, the first, and as of 2023 only president of Belarus, reintroduced the flag and emblem of the Belarusian Socialist Soviet Republic in 1995, minus the hammer and sickle. Belarus is, after all, not a socialist republic. The Transcaucasian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic was set up in March 1922 to unite 3 Caucasian Soviet republics: Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. By the late 1930s, Stalin decided that the federation of the Caucasian Soviet republics did not serve his interests. As an ethnic Georgian, Stalin wanted his birth country to be a full Union republic. On the 5th of December 1936, the Stalinists quietly dissolved the Transcaucasian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic, giving full Union status to Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The Uzbek Socialist Soviet Republic came out of a fusion of 3 local Soviet republics in Central Asia. The new Uzbek Socialist Soviet Republic included the Tajik Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic until 1929, when the Tajik Autonomous Republic was upgraded to a full Union Republic. During World War II, many industries were relocated to Uzbekistan to keep them safe from German troops. Stalin also forced many ethnic Koreans, Crimean Tatars, and Chechens to live in the Central Asian Republic. The last Stalinist leader turned nationalist by 1991 and ruled the current capitalist dictatorship until his death in 2016. Soviet Uzbekistan is now largely forgotten, as a new generation is indoctrinated with Uzbek nationalism by the current rulers. The Estonian Socialist Soviet Republic was set up by the Stalinists after the Red Army invaded the Republic of Estonia in 1940. Like Latvia and Lithuania, Estonia was a right-wing dictatorship led by Konstantin Pats. Stalin and his henchmen, however, did not build genuine socialism, and the Estonian Socialist Soviet Republic was not a product of a genuine workers' uprising. In the West, the embassies of the Pats regime were allowed to remain open for many years. In August 1990, the flag of the Republic of Estonia was restored, and a year later, Estonia left the Soviet Union. The Moldovan Socialist Soviet Republic was created by Stalin in 1940 from parts of Bessarabia, a region annexed from Romania, and parts of the Moldavian Autonomous Socialist Soviet Republic, an autonomous Soviet Republic within the Ukrainian Socialist Soviet Republic. As the Stalinist regime collapsed in the late 1980s, Romanian nationalists and the Stalinist caste agreed on replacing the Moldovan Socialist Soviet Republic with a capitalist Romanian state. In the east, Russians, Ukrainians, and anti-nationalist Moldovans rebelled. They set up the Prednestrovian Moldovan Socialist Soviet Republic, commonly known as Transnistria. In the end, both Moldova and Transnistria became capitalist and independent, leaving many in poverty and insecurity. The Turkmen Socialist Soviet Republic was created out of the Turkestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic of Soviet Russia in 1924. Like the Tajik Soviet Socialist Republic, the Turkmen Socialist Soviet Republic was given less attention and was ruled over by Stalinist bureaucrats as their personal chiefdom. The last Stalinist leader turned Turkmenistan into his personal North Korea. After he died in 2006, a former dentist became the next supreme leader. This dentist-turned-dictator gave his son the office of president. Turkmenistan, like Azerbaijan, is ruled by a family dynasty as of 2023. The Armenian Socialist Soviet Republic was created after the nationalist Republic of Armenia collapsed in 1920. This bourgeois state had been at war with bourgeois Azerbaijan for almost 2 years. Working-class Armenians had enough, and when the Red Army intervened, they welcomed them. Unlike Menshevik Georgia, Armenia did not have a stable government under the nationalists. Stalinism only silenced, however, the ethnic hatred by brutally enforcing a facade of socialist brotherhood. By November 1990, both nationalist Armenia and nationalist Azerbaijan resumed their ethnic war over Nagorno-Karabakh, which led to the destruction of the socialist facades set up by the Soviet Union. The Kazakh Socialist Soviet Republic was a late Soviet republic, set up by Moscow in 1936 after it used to be an autonomous republic of the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic. The Stalinists forced many ethnic Russians to live in the Kazakh Socialist Soviet Republic. This reduced the Kazakh language and culture in favor of Russian. This is why Russian is still widely spoken, even after the end of Stalinism. As in other Central Asian republics, the last Stalinist leader also became the first capitalist president after 1991. This ex-Stalinist tyrant remained Kazakh president until 2019. He was finally removed from all public functions in 2023. The Karelo-Finnish Socialist Soviet Republic was the only Union republic that the Stalinists dissolved. Set up by Joseph Stalin by fusing the captured Finnish territories of the Republic of Finland with the Karelian Autonomous Socialist Soviet Republic in 1940. After the death of Stalin, the moderate Stalinists demoted the Karelo-Finnish Socialist Soviet Republic as relations with the capitalist Republic of Finland had improved. The Karelian Autonomous Socialist Soviet Republic was then restored in 1956 as part of the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic. The Republic of Karelia still exists today as part of the Russian Federation. The Latvian Socialist Soviet Republic succeeded the right-wing dictatorship of Karlis Ulmanis in Latvia. This happened in 1940 when Stalin's Red Army invaded the Baltic countries. There was almost no resistance to the Soviet invasion, as many Latvians hated the Ulmanis regime. The new Stalinist regime, however, was no improvement over that of Ulmanis, as Stalin did not want to liberate the working class of Latvia. Western countries never accepted the annexation and allowed the embassy of the Ulmanis regime to remain open. The Latvian Socialist Soviet Republic remained part of the Soviet Union until May 1990. It was the second Soviet republic who left the USSR after Lithuania had declared independence. The Kyrgyz Socialist Soviet Republic was also a late Soviet republic like Kazakhstan. Set up in 1936, it was never given enough resources to become equal to Western Soviet republics. By the time Stalin died, the moderate Stalinists cared even less for the Central Asian republics, leaving them to their local puppets as chiefdoms. Little industrialization was carried out, meaning that a nomadic life remained for many years after the Soviet state was set up. In 1990, the Kyrgyz Supreme Soviet elected a pro-capitalist leader who openly promoted neoliberalism and capitalism. He ruled the country as an authoritarian dictator until 2005, when the ex-Stalinist was overthrown in a popular revolt. The Georgian Socialist Soviet Republic was created by the Red Army when they invaded the Democratic Republic of Georgia in February 1921. Joseph Stalin wanted his birth country to be part of Soviet Russia and misled Lenin into thinking that the Georgian working class would rebel against the Menshevik government. This was not the case. Yet, the Red Army invaded and overthrew the Menshevik government. The newly established Georgian Socialist Soviet Republic glorified Stalin, and many young Georgians rejected the moderate Stalinist government after 1956. In November 1990, the Stalinists embraced the symbols of Menshevik Georgia and reintroduced capitalism. A year later, in 1991, Georgian nationalism led to separatism and a civil war with Abkhazia. The Lithuanian Socialist Soviet Republic succeeded the right-wing dictatorship of Anatas Smetona, who had ruled the Republic of Lithuania since 1925. The Stalinist regime did not bring liberation for workers, but it did end the rule of the Lithuanian bourgeoisie. As in Latvia and Estonia, the new Stalinist rulers were puppets of the Red Tsar in Moscow, and it was not until after 1956 that they were given more autonomy. The Lithuanian Socialist Soviet Republic was the first Soviet republic who restored the flag of the previous capitalist regime in 1988. It declared full independence in March 1990, the first Soviet state to do so, and who left the Union of Socialist Soviet Republics. The Socialist Soviet Republic of Abkhazia was created in March 1921. It was a compromise between the nationalistic Abkhazian Bolsheviks and the Georgian Bolsheviks, who wanted to incorporate Abkhazia into the Georgian Socialist Soviet Republic. From 1922 until 1931, the Socialist Soviet Republic of Abkhazia was part of the Transcaucasian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic. However, in 1931, Stalin decided that Abkhazia was to be part of the Georgian Socialist Soviet Republic. This move by Stalin was not welcomed, neither by the Abkhazians nor by the Georgians. At the end of Stalinism, the Georgians wanted to restore their absolute control over Abkhazia. The Abkhazians naturally rejected, and in 1992, a civil war broke out between the Abkhazian separatists on one side and the now nationalist Georgian government on the other side. The Azerbaijani Socialist Soviet Republic succeeded the failed Democratic Republic of Azerbaijan in April 1920. Both Azerbaijan and Armenia were at peace for 60 years before the socialist facade was destroyed by the Stalinists, who had embraced ethnic nationalism. Soon a brutal war started between Armenia and Azerbaijan over Nagorno-Karabakh, an ethnic Armenian enclave, in 1988. By 1994, the capitalist Republic of Azerbaijan was led by an ex-Stalinist boss of the KGB. The son of the KGB leader took power after his father died in 2003. He and his family rule in a corrupt, nepotist way, and most remnants of the Azerbaijani Socialist Soviet Republic are erased from public life as of 2023. The Tajik Socialist Soviet Republic was created by the Stalinists when they split Central Asia into ethnic states. Before 1929, the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic controlled all of Central Asia, giving regional autonomy to ethnic minorities. But Stalin chose to start a national delimitation in the USSR. The Tajik Socialist Soviet Republic was more or less ignored by Moscow. They were never fully industrialized. It remained a poor Soviet republic with low living standards. The Stalinists in Tajikistan were not prepared for the collapse of Stalinism. A brutal civil war led to the rise of an ex-Stalinist strongman, who is now president since 1994 and rules as an authoritarian nationalist dictator. The Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic was the first Soviet republic set up by the working class in November 1917 in Russia. Unlike later Soviet republics, the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic was a genuine product of a socialist revolution that gave political power to workers' councils, called Soviets. Soviet Russia laid the foundations of the Union of Socialist Soviet Republics in December 1922. After the rise of Stalinism, Russian culture and language was forced down on other Union republics in the 1930s by the Stalinist bureaucracy. In December 1991, the now capitalist leadership of the Russian Federation abolished the Soviet Union, finally betraying the foundation of the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic.